3 NPCs your players will love to hate. Chadwick the Charmer, the self-proclaimed most handsome and most talented bard in the land. Chadwick has an ego that goes unmatched. After talking up a big game, he gets on stage for his unpaid performance, wailing and strumming his out-of-tune lute. If you confront Chadwick after his performance, he will say that you simply are uncultured swine that don't understand true artistry. If you ask the tavern owner why he lets Chadwick play, you will learn that everyone drinks more the worse he plays. Barnaby the Bargain Boy, the owner of a traveling magic item shop called Barnaby's Bargains. You might be excited to find Barnaby's shop filled with cheap magic items. After purchasing the items, you'll be disappointed to learn that while technically not a lie, the items don't do what you expect. For example, his invisible cloak does in fact turn invisible when attuned to, but not the person wearing the cloak. Or his hasty boots, which gives you another action, but only after using your action to activate the boots. Nana Grimshaw, the town elder known for her wisdom. Nana Grimshaw has agreed to help your party with important information, but only after you complete a number of tasks for her. After running around for days doing what feels like a list of chores, you finally make it back to her, only for her to introduce herself again. She has short-term memory loss and doesn't recall hiring your party, and has no recollection of any of the things she asked you to do. 3 D&D NPCs that have dark secrets. Alden Brooks, an older gentleman who always has a tired look on his face. Alden is the town undertaker, responsible for burying the townsfolk when they pass. He dresses in surprisingly nice clothes for his job and can be found drinking at the local tavern. After a few drinks, he might slip that a hooded man pays him for his services from time to time. If you spy on Alden, you might notice that he doesn't actually bury the remains of the dead, but sells the remains to a necromancer who lives outside of town. Elias Trask. If information is what you need, then the city's library is the best place to go. Elias works as the head librarian and is knowledgeable in almost every field. Need to know what plants are safe to consume? Elias knows. Need to know how to defeat a rare type of monster? Elias knows. But his information isn't always reliable. At the request and payment of some noble families, Elias secretly rewrites certain details of historical records in favor of the nobles. Lorna Shaw. This old woman is the local herbalist and is known for her heart of gold. She works every day selling ointments and medicines to deal with the pains and aches of townsfolk. The town has been plagued by a minor sickness, which Lorna has been working hard to create medicine for. Your party notices the medicine doesn't seem to be very potent. In fact, it actually seems to be the source of the sickness, as Lorna has been poisoning the townsfolk and selling medicine that merely treats the symptoms. 3 strange NPCs your party will love. Big Bertha Beefstrong. From the outside, Beefstrong's Blossoms is the cutest little flower shop you've ever seen. But as soon as you step in, you are greeted by a harsh voice.
You want a bouquet of daffodils, or do I gotta smash your face in to sell you some healing cream?
The owner, Bertha Beefstrong, is the biggest dwarf you've ever seen, yet makes the daintiest little flower arrangements. He used to be a medic in an adventuring party, handy with making healing salves and ointments, which now can be bought in his shop with a flower bouquet and a pack of herb tea. Kevin the normal human. Nothing to see here but a perfectly normal human shop. Kevin wears a monocle and a fake mustache over his very obvious kobold snout. He claims to be a short human, and the townsfolk don't have the heart to tell him that it's very obvious he's a kobold. He sells random knickknacks that he's found and has no sense of how much anything is worth. It's almost always just a pile of junk, but every so often you find something you definitely want. Nibbles the Rat King. The sewers beneath the city are a place that no sane man would go. That's exactly why it is the home of Nibbles the Rat King. Nibbles is a halfling man who has befriended thousands of rats and have trained them intensively. He rides the swarm around the sewers, sneaking into and out of whatever establishment with the aid of his mousy friends, and compensates them with blocks of cheese. 3 NPCs with side quests. Lady Sarah de Clare, a proud woman from a disgraced noble house. Lady Sarah can be found looking distressed in the city. If asked what is wrong, she will explain that a dangerous group stole her valuable family heirloom from her while she was walking through an alley. While some parts of her story don't seem consistent. It could be because she's panicking. The players can track down the heirloom and the people who have it, but if the players approach diplomatically, they discover that Lady Sarah sold them her heirloom and is spreading lies about it being stolen to get it back. Old Man Beric. As you approach his farm, a grizzled old farmer with very few teeth rushes out with pitchfork in hand. After realizing that you mean no harm, he crazily explains that there are creatures from the beyond that are coming down from space, stealing his crops and livestock. Between the crazed look in his eyes and the way he talks to himself, you think he might just be insane. But if you patrol his fields at night, you'll find that playful fae have been messing with him. Gilda Greentooth. While wandering through the dark, humid swamps, you happen upon a small shack. Inside, a hunched old woman with green, cracked teeth welcomes you in. She asks you to collect a rare herb from a cursed part of the swamp, where will-o-wisps try to lure people into their doom. You could risk it to help the old woman, or you could ignore her and risk angering what might be a swamp hag. If you are enjoying this video, check out my Patreon, where you can get access to original monster stat blocks, awesome magic items, and full adventure PDFs every month. Here are 3 tragic NPCs for your D&D game. Greta, the grotesque. Once the most beautiful woman in the realm, she lives just outside of town in a cottage no one dares approach. She was notorious for her vanity, using her beauty to manipulate and belittle others. One day, Greta crossed the wrong person, a hag whom she insulted. The hag cursed her, making her appearance as hideous as her heart. She now lives in solitude, pleading with anyone who will listen to take down the hag and lift the curse. Leon, the shackled star. Born with a voice capable of bringing even the toughest to tears, Leon left her small village to perform in the big city. Her journey was far from glamorous. Struggling to get by, she took out a loan to help her start and began performing wherever she could. But soon, she found herself caught in the Undercity's web, forced to take on larger loans to pay off her debts. Now, Leon sings in seedy bars, controlled by a crime lord who holds her under his thumb. You could intervene, paying off her debts or confronting the crime lord, or you could turn away, letting her fade from your memory. Cedric the Seer. Cedric is the chosen child of a blood pact. With this came the ability to see the future, a power the cult sought to exploit. Every prediction led to disaster, resulting in the cult's downfall. Cedric believes he may be causing the tragedies, not merely foreseeing them. In self-imposed exile, he avoids contact with others, desperate for someone to help him end the cycle of suffering his visions bring. 3 quirky NPCs for your D&D campaign. Taru the Tinkerer. As the newest apprentice for the local tinkerer, Taru is an enthusiastic halfling inventor who is always tinkering with new gadgets and devices. She has a heart of gold and is always trying to invent new solutions to any problem she hears about. But her inventions can sometimes cause more trouble than help. Cogsworth, a loyal, slightly eccentric, war-forged automaton who insists on following the rules, no matter how ridiculous they may seem. Cogsworth was built by an unknown ancient civilization and suffers from memory loss. He works now in the local library, helping by regurgitating information he has learned about the new world, but doesn't have a clear grasp of social norms. Madame Crackers. She appears to be a normal crow wearing a hat, but she somehow has the ability to speak in short sentences. She refuses to leave her perch, requesting strange things from the party, and offers valuable words of wisdom as payment. Is she a cursed sorceress struggling to turn herself back to normal? Perhaps. Is she just a crow that is collecting shinies? Probably.